Hello, this is your host, Wendy, with Experiments in Poetry. Welcome to Episode 9, the Sonic Youth What We Know edition. What We Know was a song released by Sonic Youth in 2009 on their final album, Eternal. It was their 15th studio album. This song was requested by a listener, and if you have any songs that you are interested in or any specific poems that you are interested in having me do a review on or highlighting on this channel, please comment below, or you can write me at wendy@experimentsinpoetry.com. The band consisted of members Thurston Moore on guitar and vocals, Kim Gordon on bass, vocals, and guitar, Lee Ronaldo on guitar and vocals, and Steve Shelley on drums. So in the early 80s, the band formed in New York City, and they were really known for kind of underground music, experimental music. Their defining characteristic in the band was tuning a guitar in really interesting ways that created a unique sound that was quite distinct to the band. Double J with ABC Net did an interview with the band, and he said that the superpower of the band was to, quote, they injected noise and chaos into indie rock while keeping it accessible enough for a broad audience, which was perhaps their most impressive feat. And Thurston Moore told him that there was this idea of really wanting that balance between the experimental and the traditional and having it be unified. That's what Sonic Youth was. Even though the band has reached commercial success, they are still really big supporters of up-and-coming musicians, especially ones that are experimenting in new types of music. And they have all been quoted as saying that they really feel that this type of artist, this type of musician is really the most important driving force in music as an art form, and that the number of albums someone sells is not really important or what defines someone as successful, but really creating something that's distinctive or unique that pushes the art form forward, whether or not that's commercially successful or not, is what they consider the defining characteristic of a great artist. They also wrote the music as a group. However, when it came to the lyric part, they tended to write those individually. For the song today, What We Know, I believe that Thurston Moore was the lyricist. So the song What We Know, to me, has a very grunge indie rock sound. And from what I understand is that, since Sonic Youth formed in the early 80s, that they really had, or they really were instrumental on influencing some of the artists that came up like in the early 90s in the grunge and indie rock scene. As always, when I do go into lyric meanings for something that I did not write, it is my personal interpretation. I was able to kind of look at what other people thought about this song. This song was not one of their more popular songs or even in the top 10 of critically acclaimed songs. I do think it is a very good song and perhaps was underrated. Again, I'm going over it today because it was a request by a listener, and they were really interested or they thought of this song because there is a line, I drink a case of you. And in one of my earlier episodes, I did a lyrical analysis of Joni Mitchell's song, A Case of You. And they were wondering if, those two things were related. I didn't really see that the band gave any interview on what we know and what the story behind it was. However, I would think that because they have been in the music industry for so long and really are great appreciators of music, a possibility, or perhaps a strong possibility, that is an allusion to the Joni Mitchell song. I did see on some comment boards when I was looking up the lyrics that some people thought this song was about maybe hiring a lady of the night. Others thought it was possible that it was about Kim Gordon and Thurston Moore and their marriage and their relationship. I never like to speculate if it's about a particular person. As always, I don't like to get into an artist's particular personal life. However, when I listen to this song, I have an entirely different take on it. I actually, when I read this, say that this song is about an affair. So let's get into it. So the first verse is, I'm in a state of shock. I'm creeping up and down your block. I'm looking into you. I'm trying to catch your view. Going with that, I think it's about an affair. I'm in a state of shock could be that, he's surprised that, he's thinking about doing this act. Now, I don't think you get from the song lyrics who is having an affair. Is he interested? And when I say he, I'm just saying he because there's a guy singing. This could just be a dream or an idea or whatever that he had, not something that he actually did. But going back to the lyric, from the lyrics, you can't really tell if it's like they're both in a relationship already or whether the male or the female in the story. Although I guess he really doesn't indicate that his partner is a female that he's interested in. So let's just say lover. His lover that he's interested in, you don't really get a sense for whether or not it's him or them or both of them that are in a relationship. But either way, I'm in a state of shock. Leads me to believe that it's an unexpected emotion that he didn't think he would have. And especially, I'm creeping up and down your block. I mean, it's a very strong emotion. He's basically hanging around this person where they live, or maybe it's just, a play on words, like I'm creeping, again, an affair, creeping around. Meaning that, I'm kind of like trying not to be seen. I'm trying to, by anybody else, we're kind of like sneaky. I'm looking into you. Maybe he's trying to see, is the other person also interested? And I'm trying to catch your view. So he's actively looking to see if the person's interested and wanting to get their attention. So I'm looking into you. Maybe he's trying to gather information about maybe is this person single? What's their relationship like if they're in one? And trying to get your view. It reminds me of like, he's trying to get this person to be into him too. And to notice him. So to go to the chorus, it's not a quiet meditation. Oh, that you know, darkness makes the night more cold. That's what we know about me. So it's not a quiet meditation. So the way I see that is, he's been thinking about it for a while, but now he wants to take action on it. Again, in the first verse, he's taking action. He's in a state of shock mentally, but he's creeping, he's looking into, and he's trying to catch. That's how I see it. And then, and that the person's quite aware of it. Oh, that you know. And he's taking action. He's making his move. And then I see darkness makes the night more cold. That's what we know about me. I'm not sure about this line. It could mean that, he's going about this in the dark. Again, the whole affair, creeping type of thing. And then this makes his nights more cold. The fact that he's going behind someone's back for this affair. Satisfied, wise child, creeping heart and frozen perfection. You can touch my hand. I drink a case of you. I think that right here he's maybe trying to indicate that the person who he's interested in is very smart and they're kind of happy with their life, and so they're satisfied in their current life without moving forward on this affair, or leaving their partners would cause some sort of trauma, and they're just satisfied with the way things are. I don't know, because the following line is creeping heart and frozen perfection. So sounds like he's indicating, you're definitely have feelings for me, even if you haven't officially had made it sexual with me yet. Your heart is definitely mine. And frozen perfection, again, maybe showing that maybe she's not wanting to break away from her partner, or not wanting him to move any further into their relationship. And so they're kind of at this stage of keeping things behind closed doors and in secret. He says, you can touch my hand, I drink a case of you. So maybe he's saying, maybe in public, you can, still sneak a touch here and there, and I drink a case of you. If you go and watch my Joni Mitchell lyric review, I get into a lot of meaning behind that phrase, but in general, I think it would suit here just to say that, he can't get enough of this person. And in that song, it was a toxic relationship, or one that wasn't very good. And so it can mean that he's bringing that context here. An affair is not a good way to start it. It's not a very good situation. It could be quite toxic, just having an affair, and he doesn't care. It's like an addiction, something that he's going to move forward with and can't get enough of regardless. And then in the second chorus, he says, heaven's not about your reputation. Yeah, that I know. Forever means the night turns gold. That's what we know about you. So the concern in the second verse that his lover had, I said I wasn't sure because I thought maybe she was satisfied with what they were doing. But here, heaven's not about your reputation. So maybe he's trying to convince her, to come with him, leave her lover, or he'll leave his. And, yeah, people are going to know, people are going to talk, but, screw your reputation, basically. Like, who cares? like we shouldn't care what other people think. Forever means the night turns gold. That's what we know about you. So they can't be together forever until they take the steps of leaving their partners and going on their journey together. But in order to do that, their reputations might be damaged. In verse 3, it's been quite a ride with you, my sweet, here by my side. Funny how the mountains slide. We're stepping across that, the great divide. Our bodies vibrate slowly. So I'm going to interpret it's been quite a ride with you, sweet, here by my side. That this person who he's having an affair with, that they have known each other for quite a long time, most likely, and in contact quite often. And then funny how the mountains slide, we're stepping across that great divide. Our bodies vibrate slowly. So if the person was initially, apprehensive about getting into the affair, you could see funny how the mountains slide. So over the time, their friendship grew into something else, and they're finally we're stepping across that great divide, meaning we're letting go of the barriers that we are in. They're consummating their relationship from friends into lovers at this point in time. And in the final course, that we know, bound to give it heart and soul, that's what we know about us. So here, I think that's really concluding that, they finally consummated that relationship from friends or colleagues to lovers, and that they kind of always knew that it was going to eventually happen, that it was inevitable, that it would end up that way. So that is my interpretation of the lyrics of the Sonic Youth song, What We Know. I'd like for this to be an open channel, so if you have any song lyrics that you have written or any poetry that you have written and you would like to feature it here on this channel, you can me again at wendy@experimentsinpoetry.com. And thanks for listening. And as always, if you enjoyed this episode of Experiments in Poetry, please click the like button. And if you want to continue to hear more poems and lyric reviews by me, please hit the subscribe button. Thank you.